Let's start our weekend off with some creativity. I'm Alana Nagy and this is Studio Saturdays. For today's activity, we'll be creating pulled string flowers inspired by artist Georgia O'Keeffe. But before we get started, let's take a closer look at the featured artwork from our collection.
For today's project, you will need a length of string, some paint, 2 sheets of paper, and a paintbrush. Georgia O'Keeffe was an American artist who was born in Wisconsin in 1887. She is considered one of the most important artists of the 20th century. Georgia O'Keeffe went to 2 art colleges as a young adult and was taught to paint in the style of realism. This means trying to make your drawings or paintings appear real, like a photograph, by recreating exactly what you see in front of you. Because O'Keeffe thought she wasn't good enough at realism to be a professional artist, she decided to become an art teacher instead. In 1912, O'Keeffe attended a summer class for art teachers at a university in Virginia. In this class, she was introduced to the ideas of Arthur Wesley Dow, an American painter. He believed in creating artworks focused on shape, color, and line, rather than artworks focused on making exact realistic images. Through learning these ideas, O'Keeffe began making more abstract drawings, paintings, and prints. Abstract artworks use shape, color, and line to make images that often do not represent a real object. As her career went on, Georgia O'Keeffe didn't stick only to creating abstract images, but also included some realism in her artwork. She would often paint cow skulls and most famously would create many large and detailed paintings of flowers. One thing that set Georgia O'Keeffe apart from other abstract artists was that she used soft and natural shapes in her abstractions rather than sharp geometric ones. Her nature-based imagery was inspired by her surroundings of New Mexico, where she lived in an old house out in the desert. This print, drawing number 12, 1917, is a 1968 recreation of a drawing she made in 1917, when she was still beginning her interest in abstraction. The shape doesn't look exactly like anything that you would see in real life, but it could represent a flower, tree, wind, or something else from nature. What does it look like to you? For today's craft, we will be creating our own abstract pull string flowers inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe. Although I'll be showing you how to create flowers today, remember how Georgia O'Keeffe thought outside of the box for her nature-inspired abstraction, and feel free to use this pull string method to make more abstract art with different subjects. It doesn't have to look exactly like what you're representing. Get creative and don't be afraid to experiment. Now it's time to think like an artist. Do you like geometric abstraction? Abstract art that is made with hard lines and geometric shapes, or organic abstraction, abstract art that is made with soft lines and nature-inspired shapes more. Why? What does drawing number 12 look like to you? What other things can you see in it? Lay out a piece of paper and put some paint on a surface, such as a paper plate. Then put the string into the paint and cover 2/3 of the string with paint using a paintbrush. Now, lay out the string in a wiggle shape on your sheet of paper. You can do straight up and down, or have it leaning to one side. Make it as big or small as you'd like. Make sure you leave the section of clean string hanging off of the bottom of the paper. Place your second sheet of paper over the string and the bottom paper. Then, pressing your hand over both pieces of the paper with the string sandwiched between, pull on the clean section of the string. When you remove your top paper, you should have an abstract flower shape. Now you can paint the string again and add as many flowers as you want. You can experiment with laying the string in different shapes and make simple leaves using an upside down U shape. Get creative, see if you can make things other than flowers while using this technique. If you want, you can use colored pencils to decorate. You can add on details like leaves, stigma, and other flowers, or even color in different sections of your flower. Use your imagination to let abstract expressionism take over your design.
Thanks so much for joining me today while we created pull-string flowers inspired by artist Georgia O'Keeffe. Be sure to join me next time when we'll be making geometric sculptures inspired by Thomas Saraceno. Have a great weekend and happy crafting!
Thanks again for joining us for Studio Saturdays. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell to find out when a new video is uploaded. Have a good day!